Good morning, Decatur County. This is Nick Messer, and this is Overtime. We have a special show today, a little different outside the box here. We have in studio with us the cheerleaders, or a few of them at least. We have the North Decatur girls, I guess it's just North Decatur, cheer coach, Bree Morris. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
She has some cheerleaders with her today as well. And also in studio we have some South Decatur cheerleaders. Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Their coach, Annie Moore, had some scheduling conflicts, but that's okay because we got a few of the cheerleaders in the studio. So lots to talk about, so let's get started. Coach Morris, why don't you just take us through a day in the life of a cheerleader. I know a lot of people, when we had this idea to get you guys on here, it was basically you guys are year-round, theoretically,
Yes.
pretty much. So take us through the year of a cheerleader and what it takes, that dedication.
So we always start in, at least at North Decatur, we start with tryouts either the end of May, the beginning of June. Mm-hmm. We practice throughout the summer, twice a week, and we have moratorium week, the 2 weeks around 4th of July that they get a break. But once school starts, we hit the ground running. Football starts just a couple weeks into the school year, and we've been fortunate for the last few years because our football season has either overlapped or goes right up to basketball season. These girls do not get a break. I know South girls could probably agree with me. Yes. Because we even have games over fall break, which we have always taken Christmas break off because it's much needed. And we go all the way up to spring break with basketball season. So they usually get a couple months off during the springtime, but that's it. Like they don't get much of a break. It's like you said, it's year round.
Yeah, I think people, they keep them pepped up in the stands and all that kind of stuff, and keep smiles on everybody's faces, but they don't realize the sacrifices they're making.
Yeah.
It's not any different than basketball, football, the time commitment things, because they're at the games, they're at the practices, they're staying late with the teams, they're going early with the teams. So. Why don't you go ahead and highlight some of your seniors and talk about their leadership role this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have with me today, I have my seniors. I have Layla, Marley, Callie, and Ava. This group of seniors are amazing. I've been very fortunate with them this year. So I actually don't do captains. But I just rely on my seniors just stepping up and taking on that leadership role, and they do. They're great, and everybody brings something different to the team, which is really nice. Like Layla and Marley are definitely more of my outspoken cheerleaders, and they'll say something when it needs to be said. Ava's definitely my more organized and keeps the team in a really good mood a lot of times. And Callie, what's really nice, she's really stepped up this year. She's always asking me throughout the school day if there's something that I need, or is there something that they need to do special for practice. It's also like if I need the team to look at Team Reach, I can ask them like, hey, remind the team of this, or have them go look at Team Reach. I just posted a bunch of information, and I can rely on them because they do really well with communicating with the team.
So go ahead and lay out how to top bottom. So you got varsity cheerleaders and JV cheerleaders and junior higher cheerleaders, and how do you prep for the next year?
So I'm already once summer hits. So of course I'm looking at what that year is, what we're planning, whether it's a competition routine, games, spirit themes, or student section themes. But usually once the school year hits, I'm already starting to think about what next year looks like. I'm very involved with my junior high program, so I can try to get them to where I need them to be, so that way as incoming freshmen, they're ready to go to hit the ground running. This year, I've had a few girls even offer help to the youth program, which has been really nice. So when we have our youth night, it's not a bunch of little girls running around a running around not knowing what to do. So it's really nice to have that connection there too. As when we get them prepared for the next year, I'm looking at what skills they already have to make sure that next year, especially with our competition routines, just knowing what we can use to our advantage to do as well as we can.
So let's talk about that for a minute. You guys also compete.
Yeah.
In some, I don't know what organization it is, but
yeah.
I know you guys compete.
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So it's really nice. A couple years ago, a lot of Indiana cheer coaches got together and we created a Hoosier Cheer Coach Association. And just trying to really get the recognition that these cheerleaders deserve, because they work their butts off all over the state. And there's some amazing teams in Indiana that go to nationals and they win. It's incredible going to some of these competitions and just seeing how good the cheer program is throughout the state. What's really nice is when we go, I mean, we don't go to nationals, but we go up and compete against teams that do go to nationals, and we look good with them. Like, it's very impressive, including like when we do our conference cheer competition. All the teams that I've seen so far, they look good. And I see teams from all over the state, and I've told several of the coaches that like they could absolutely compete with all these other teams. So with the Hoosier Cheer Coach Association, they have broadened out and they go through a company called Varsity, which is a really big. It's UCA, which is a national recognized cheerleading program, and they will even compete at what they would call regionals, and it's when they go there, they would get their bids, and that's how they get to nationals. We do not compete in those competitions. However, we do go to a lot of schools that are local or more local. We go within under an hour and a half drive. But these teams that put on these other cheer competitions, a lot of them do go through the Hoosier Cheer Coach Association with score sheets and the UCA score sheets, and they're very well co-aligned with each other. So
yeah, and with that, I just want to add that's extra. Like that's on top of their, I don't want to say school duties, but you know what I mean. They're still cheering through the week for the school, and then like you said, you have competition tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow at 9:30 at New Washington.
Yes.
So girls, thanks for getting up early. No sleeping in. So that's cool. And then you got another one next weekend. Not sure times yet, but that one's going to be in Charleston. So, cheering through the week and then competing on Sundays.
Yes.
And then also February 28th is your conference competition, which girls from South, I'll let you introduce yourself since Coach Moore's not here. So go ahead and introduce yourself real quick before I ask questions.
I'm Claire Organist. I'm Sophia Whitcamper.
All right, Claire and Sophie, you guys compete in that competition as well, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys did pretty well. I was at that one last year.
They've done very well.
So, I mean, both schools are competing pretty well in that over the last couple years. I can't remember who won last year.
Last year, Edinburgh won.
Edinburgh. That's who it was, Edinburgh. Yes. We can't have that in the county. we gotta do something. Okay. One of you guys gotta pull it off. We gotta at least win when we're hosting in the county.
Yes. That's the goal.
but it's nice to have something like that.
Yeah.
And if you're watching or listening out there, it's pretty cool. They bring in. You said this year actually all 7 are going to be there.
Yeah. So I know, I'm so excited. So I started this up 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, I started this up 2 years ago. I talked to my athletic director, Scott Johnson, and I asked him if we could put this on, because one of the things that's really nice with the UCA started a couple years ago what's called a game day division. So it's not your big, crazy, extreme routine it's really nice because this game day division, everything that we get judged on is stuff that we should be doing at games anyways. So how it gets started with the routine, you start with the band dance. So it's just music that your band provides. you do a chant, you do a cheer, and then you finish with your fight song. And it's all about crowd engagement, just getting your crowd hyped, and just going out there and doing what we do on a daily basis.
So what you're saying at this competition, it's very important that North Decatur fans
Yes.
and South Decatur fans show up for this competition.
Yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
cheer with us.
And
yes.
okay, yeah, that's
Yes.
makes sense. So if you're listening, that is February 28th, and you need to show up because that is part of their score.
Yes.
and
Crowd engagement
actually-
is a huge part of our sport.
Actually, if I remember last year, South, you guys did pretty packed in there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
packed the stands.
It's pretty loud. So how'd that feel last year, just having that atmosphere?
It definitely felt very supportive. I know all of us spend a lot of our time supporting our teams, and it was nice to get that back in return.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What do you girls, Claire and Sophie, what do you guys do to prepare for that? Like, is that a separate, or are you just like, we're just going to do our normal stuff?
Well, we definitely implement a good time of practice doing that. A couple weeks in advance, we'll be like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to improve on last year, and just build on that. What do you say?
We also use our basketball games to help us prepare for the competition too. So if we have created a routine or a chant or a new cheer or something that we're gonna do for the competition, we also perform it for our basketball fans and things like that, just so we can make sure that we have it down and we can practice it.
Cool. So you do like a practice run at
Yeah,
a game or
the
a
little
halftime or
teaser.
something? Gotcha. That makes sense. Go ahead and like I said, we had a scheduling conflict. Coach Moore couldn't be here, but
We love you, Annie.
so just go ahead and talk about your guys' leadership role and maybe her coaching style and things like that.
A lot of us, especially me and Sophie, we're also involved in a lot of other things as well. And I think we do a really good job at trying to figure out that time management and prioritize cheer and as well as our other activities. Annie is a really great coach. I have been to multiple college cheer clinics and things like that, and nothing has compared from what I've seen to what Annie does for us.
Yeah. And we definitely appreciate Annie doesn't just specifically have all the seniors do everything. I definitely think she does a great job of incorporating all the grades and making sure there's feedback from everyone. We also have another senior that wasn't able to make it this morning, Maddie. We love you, Maddie. So I think we all do a great job of uplifting each other and making sure things are running smoothly.
So what's your leadership roles? Like, do each of you in charge of something else, or are you captains? And then how do you keep the other girls motivated? Because I know it's hard, especially, I don't want to be negative because I don't like to be negative on here, but we know it's hard if you're down 20, 25, 30 points. So how do you keep everybody motivated? How do you use that leadership?
Definitely leading when we're down by, if we're down by a lot, we can definitely start cheers and make sure that everyone is just continuing to start cheers even though we may feel upset that we're losing.
Or maybe even worse, it could be you're up 30.
Yeah.
How do you cheer when you're up 30? How do you go through that process? That's kind of...
Well, I definitely think it helps when we use the crowd as our energy. So even if we're down, we use them to kind of build us up. And I definitely think it starts within ourselves. We really, they see that we're not giving up on them, and we just kind of collect ourselves as a unit and keep going.
We don't have captains either, like North Decatur does. We she really relies on the seniors, especially me and Sophie, who have been cheering for a long time, to just continue to give her feedback and work on ourselves.
Yeah, and one thing that both of the schools here have is crowds. You guys travel well.
We are very fortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
South used to not travel as well, but here in the last couple of years, South travels very well. You guys travel well now. Home, though, home games. That's my favorite time to go to the what I like to call the Westport Walmart. That's my favorite time to go during a game because no one's in there. The whole town is, at the game. So, but it's nice to have that. And that's what small town vibes are about.
Yeah.
Is that atmosphere.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely the Hoosier State. It's funny just to see, like, I remember going to a basketball game in Ohio with a friend of mine from college, and there was nobody in their stands. And it was so weird because, I mean, even though we were just an hour away from them, it's just, we fill the bleachers.
And the same energy.
Yeah, and it's just, it's a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's nice to have because
It is.
it's nice to have for like basketball, football, whatever track, whatever sport, but cheer, you have to have that. I couldn't imagine going out there in front of, 20 people and then
Yeah.
looking up there and there's no one else up there and you're like, let's go 20 people.
Yeah.
We've had to do it before.
I think that would be worse than having, 20,000. Like, I
Yeah.
think that just in my mind, it'd just be worse for me. But big crowds as well. Do you ever have, girls, like, I don't want to say scared, but intimidated by the crowd size or how do you help with that, Coach?
Well, for us, it's definitely just, that's where
Stage fright, I guess, is what
Yeah, no, for us, I think the biggest time when they get stage fright is when we are asked to perform our big routine in front of the crowd, our competition routine. Because when we go to our competitions, it's just our parents. Well, they're very comfortable with their parents, so they're not as nervous. But when they're in front of their peers, you can definitely see the stage fright sometimes. But once they get out there and they hit the mats, they just go and they do their thing. But that just comes back to practicing and just the repetition and making sure that everybody knows what they're doing. And
Becomes muscle memory.
yes, it does, muscle memory.
So, Claire and Sophie, what about you guys? How do you deal with that? Like, just
I don't
the
think
stage
we-
presence?
I don't think any of us really ever have stage fright, especially with a big crowd. I think the only time we do have stage fright is if we barely have any people and it feels awkward to us. Starting cheers when it's just so quiet sometimes, especially at girls' games sometimes. But recently it's been really good. But I don't think any of us really have stage fright. We're all pretty comfortable of our routines and going out there and just being ourselves.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of is definitely when our younger girls come up, they're a little bit nervous to use their voice, and I just think that, like, as the season goes on, they progress and kind of develop that confidence from all the other cheerleaders and grow in that aspect, so.
Yeah. All right, we are going to pause for a little 3-minute break here, and then we'll be back with the North Decatur, all seniors, correct?
Yep, all seniors.
Senior cheerleaders and 2 of the 3 senior South Decatur cheerleaders, and we'll talk to them and get to know them a little bit better. So we're going to pause for a little bit of break here, and we'll be right back to overtime.
No, you got it.
Welcome back to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer, joined in studio this morning with cheerleaders. I know that's a bit different. Most of you expecting basketball, but we're going cheerleading this morning. So we have North Decatur's coach, Bree Morris, in studio. South Decatur's coach, Annie Moore, had a scheduling conflict, perfectly fine. But we're lucky because she sent 2 of her 3 seniors. So we have Claire Organist and Sophie Whitkemper with us. Good morning, girls.
Morning.
They've already talked a little bit, but switch over to the North Decatur senior cheerleaders. So, ladies, introduce yourselves.
I'm Callie Alexander.
I'm Ava Lecker.
I'm Marley Foster.
And I'm Layla Harrison.
So, we started a little bit early with the South Decatur one so we could get them in the conversation about just what it takes to be a cheerleader, the sacrifices, competitions, and things. And so I do want to talk a little bit about some of that stuff real quick. North girls, you are at a competition tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., so thank you for getting up early. So no sleeping in this weekend for you. And then next Sunday, you also have a competition. That one's in Charleston. And then you have North and South, your MHC competition, February 28th. Coach, do we have times on that one? When that?
Not yet, but they. I'm working on a schedule for this next.
Okay, so that one will be posted somewhere, and that is at North Decatur. So if you're tuning in late and you didn't listen to the first segment, part of their score during that competition is based on crowd participation. So they need both North and South cheer blocks, crowds, fans to show up to that competition and help these schools compete to win, because last year it was not a county school, and we can't have that. Also, South Decatur, Claire reminded me that we have a cheer clinic on January 31st, and that is also the Coaches versus Cancer Night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything special about that I need to talk about? Look at Coach's notes and make sure before.
Yeah, do a quick glance.
Show up and donate.
Yep,
All right,
all the
show up and
donations
donate.
are going to the American Cancer Society, so
Okay.
come out and support.
Yep, that's January 31st. And real quick, cheer clinic, what is that?
That allows our elementary schoolers from South Decatur to come, and they kind of look up to us in a way, and we teach them a little cheer, and they go out and perform that, and all their family can watch them, and they get to be a part of our game day.
Perfect. All right, so switching back over to North Decatur, let's talk about, you're all seniors, been on the cheer 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, most of you 4 years, so just take me through, we'll start with Callie, take me through, how's that changed? How's your role changed as a cheerleader? How have you grown and matured?
Well, like freshman year, it's definitely more of like following and learning the basics of like what to do. And then like to being a senior, you step into the leadership role and try to help out the new freshmen and have them learn what to do.
All right, Ava, how's that changed for you as you've went from freshman to senior with less than, 4 months of school left?
I think when I was a freshman, I was really shy, and I was just kind of scared to, like, I don't know. I just felt like I, like, followed everyone else, but now I feel like I can, like, take the leadership and, like, help others to do the best that they can do and, like, help them, like, understand how to do everything.
All right, Marley Foster, how's your role changed on the cheer squad?
I started my sophomore year, and I've definitely grown to my full potential to my senior year. I've gotten more confident and better at cheering, I feel like, and I've definitely improved since my sophomore year.
Okay. Layla Harrison, how's your time changed? How have you grown since you've been on the cheer squad at North?
So I started out in junior high at North, and then I left for a little bit. But my junior year, last year, I came back. I was really shy at first, and I was like trying to reintroduce myself to everybody because I remembered some of the girls from when I was at school there before. But at first I thought like, oh, I feel like I don't belong here, like it's so out of sorts. But the girls on the team really helped me like kind of just go through school pretty smoothly, and being part of cheer has really helped me like build connections with the people that I'm in school with. This senior year, I feel like I can more of help the girls that kind of were feeling like how I was feeling last year, and it just kind of comes full circle for me because it's a very meaningful part of just like belonging and relationships that you really want in your high school year, and I feel like cheer and this year has really brought that out.
Okay, switch gears. That's a great answer. Switch gears over to Sophie Whitkemper and Claire Organist of South Decatur. Sophie, how's your role changed? How have you seen yourself grow over the years?
Kind of reiterating what everyone else said, I was a little bit shy and kind of following the older girls' lead, and I was also I felt like I had to be very put together, but now I feel like I can let loose a little bit and have more fun with it, and I think the younger girls see that, and they feel more confident in themselves too, because they're not afraid of the big seniors. They feel connected with us, and so I think I've definitely grown in that.
What about you, Claire? Have you grown in terms of leadership and your role in the cheer squad?
It's definitely different. I started out just letting the older girls or the seniors start cheers because I was nervous to start cheers, but now I definitely feel comfortable starting cheers, and it's just grown to be a different thing because now we can be those seniors who encourage the younger girls to start cheers and make everyone feel more comfortable.
And also, I just feel like whenever I was younger as well, if I had any mistake, I would definitely that's all I could focus on. But now I feel like I can definitely just move on and be like, okay, it happens. No one noticed. Mm-hmm. And I think that also helps the younger girls if they mess up.
All right, stand down here on South Decatur. What's your best memory so far? I know you got a lot of season left in the boys, but so far, because you guys cheered last night in the Hoosier gym, right?
Well,
and
we didn't cheer, but a lot of us were there supporting. So.
Did you? And you guys though cheered, right? You guys got to cheer when you played in the Hoosier gym, North Decatur.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so both of you though, both schools have had the experience of playing up there, so. I know that's probably something. I mean, I don't even know if you guys watched the movie or not. I'm sure maybe the teachers showed it or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so far in your cheer career, what is your best memory, Sophie?
I'm not sure. I feel like all of them are great memories. Definitely winning MHC the first year was definitely a highlight because we weren't sure what we were going into, and we hadn't had that competition experience. So winning that first one was definitely a highlight for everyone, and we're still kind of chasing that high going into this year.
Claire, what about you? What's your best memory so far?
My best memories are during football. When we're turned around, not facing the crowd, we just kind of come up with little jokes or little things to say to each other when we're not cheering to the fans, and it just is such a fun environment, and it makes me giggle.
All right, over to North Decatur. We'll start with Callie. Alexander, what's your best memory so far?
Definitely the North versus South games. They're always hype, and there's a lot of the crowd there and cheering on, usually a big cheer block. That's when we have our biggest cheer blocks. But also before the games, getting food and hanging out with our friends and the cheer team. That's definitely a fun part.
All right, Ava Lecker, what is your best memory so far?
I also think the North-South games are really fun, but my favorite memory is probably, I think it was my freshman year when football won regionals. It was just a really fun game, and it was really, fun to see the crowd.
It was really cold.
Yeah, but it was fun to see the crowd all, excited and stuff.
All right, Marley Foster, best memory.
My best memory is at the competitions because I love spending time with my team and winning third place at state.
Okay. Layla Harrison, what's your best memory? So far, there's a lot of time to go.
Yeah, I would say in general, I just love spending time with my team, especially when we have fun moments, like when we had our Christmas break pool party. That was a really fun team bonding thing. So I would say I would have to say team bonding, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, my favorite thing that we do, even though we have to get up early and it's no fun to have to trudge all the way back to school on the weekend, it's really fun just to be on the bus with the girls. And I feel like a lot of people would think like, oh, that's terrible. Like, why would you want to be on a bus for hours and like have to do all that? But honestly, I feel like it brings us closer as a team because we all have to get up. We all have to go on the bus super early. We all have to be united when it comes down to the competitions. And even after the competitions, we'll go get food and like we'll laugh about it. We'll talk about points that we could do better at, or we'll talk about points that we did really good at, and it just builds like a good atmosphere for the whole team, and I think that's one of my favorite things about it.
Well, I'm not going to lie, girls, it hurt you didn't say Ben here on the overtime show as your most memorable moment, but it's okay. I understand. I get it. So we'll stay down here with North Decatur, and now the fun questions that listeners have said they like to hear. So we'll start with Layla Harrison, and just take us through. Do you have a routine, or what's a game day like for you?
For me, typically, it's pretty much the same for football and basketball season. So we'll end school, and I'll probably take some of my underclassmen friends and some of the other seniors, and we'll go out and we'll go get some food. We'll come back, and it's really fun because we're all like getting ready. Though it kind of can be a struggle because we all have to share like a singular mirror, but I would say it's still pretty fun because like even though you're trying to cramp yourself in a little cubby with a mirror, like y'all are just like so connected. And I would have to say the getting ready part is super fun, and then after we get ready, we typically warm up and go over some stuff, and then during the game it's just so much fun because especially with the big crowd, like that's what cheerleaders love, is such a big crowd, because then we kind of take the energy, like Sophie said, from the crowd, and we make that twice the size as it was before. And during the game, like, we'll be spiriting and everything. Win or lose, it typically doesn't matter because we'll still be in those good spirits. And then after the game, I typically just go home and go to bed automatically. Like, I'll just go lay in my bed. Like, I'll be tired. I'll be done for the day.
Marley Foster.
Okay.
Are you superstitious? Like, what do you do? Take me through a game day.
Okay. Like Layla said, after school we usually just go get food with my friends. And then after, when we get back, that's when we usually practice. And like the practice before, I usually dread it, but like whenever I'm there, I love it because like there's never like a dull moment. I feel like somebody's always laughing all the time, and it just like brings my mood up all the time. And then at the game, it's always fun because like I just love being like outgoing and like having fun because being uptight is boring. So yeah. I just usually have fun all the time, and no matter like how many people are there, like it doesn't affect how like I cheer because I'm always just in a good mood. Well, usually in a good mood, but
and you just want to share that with
yes,
the crowd,
exactly.
right?
And yeah. And then after the games, I usually go get food, and then like Layla said, I crash.
Okay, Ava Lecker, what about you?
So I also go get food after school before the game. You can usually catch me at Subway. And then...
That's my next question, so hold on. Superstitions right now. Superstitions, game day routine. Anything special about that?
No. I just like... I just come back and then we warm up. And then... Yeah, it's just really fun to, like, when you warm up and you hit good stunts and then you can do them at the game and show everyone, like, your skills and stuff.
Okay. Callie Alexander, what about you? What's your game day routine? Any superstitions or anything?
I don't really have any superstitions, but for football season, usually I'll go out to eat with my friends. We have a little bit more time to eat and get ready. But for basketball season, I'll go home and grab a snack and then get ready and then head back to the school to warm up. And then after the game, I'll typically go to McDonald's and get some chicken nuggets and fries.
Okay. All right, South Decatur, Claire Organist, what do you do? Do you have a game day routine, special routine? Are you superstitious? Do you put left sock on first? You know?
I'm not superstitious before the game, but during the game, Maddie really likes to do kicks when we do free throws. And every time we do a kick, it's like a little superstition, like we don't make it usually if we do a kick.
Because we all like to do kicks.
Because we all love to do kicks. And so that's just a little funny thing. But usually for game days, I leave school at 2:30. I get out of school, and then I'll go home. I'll make myself a smoothie every single day, and I'll get ready, go back to school, and it just makes me happy seeing everybody else all dressed and ready. And then warm-ups is also really fun for me because even if we're trying something new and we're like, I'm kind of scared to do this during the game, we can go out during the game and just do our best and be proud of what we did, even if it fails or even if it doesn't. And then after the game, sometimes I'll go out to eat, sometimes I don't, but usually I really like to just go home and lay down and pet my dogs.
Okay, Sophie?
Well, game days for me look a little bit different because usually for basketball, I'm coming out of basketball practice and then getting ready to go cheer again. So that I'm a little bit more rushed in that time frame. But if we're talking football, I have a bit more time to get ready. I get to go home and do whatever I need to do. And then as for superstitions go, my stunt group, because I love stunting and that's one of my favorite parts of cheer. My stunt group, anytime we do anything right, we always have to give each other high fives, no matter what. Always double high fives to everybody. And I don't even know when we started that, but we always do that, and I just think it helps us. Even if we're not doing so great, any little thing we do right, we always do our high fives, and I think that definitely helps us when we're doing the more complicated stunts, and it helps us keep our energy.
Yeah, because you're cheerleaders. Everybody's spirits got to be smiling all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be energized. And all right, so we're going to work back again now for the fun questions. Sophie, what's your pregame meal?
Honestly, before games, I don't like to eat because I get nervous. But definitely, I have a halftime meal. I like to get Chick-fil-A. Our concession stands usually carry Chick-fil-A, so I like to do that at halftime.
Claire, game day.
My before game day meal is always a smoothie with like just a bunch of berries and a bunch of yogurt, and smoothies make me really happy. I love smoothies.
We can tell. we can tell. Do you go to the what's the one in? I don't think we have one close. Batesville used to. Do they still have theirs?
I don't know.
Smoothie place, but I know Columbus has the smoothie.
Tropical smoothie.
That's it. I was gonna say Smoothie King. I don't know where it popped in my head. Smoothie King, tropical smoothie. Not a paid endorsement. Go there if you want. I don't care. Okay, music. What are you listening to, Sophie? What's your go-to get ready for the game music?
Unpopular opinion, but I like country music, so I listen to a little bit of country music, but also some like 2000s just energetic pop music, I guess, as well.
Do you have a specific song or just the genre?
Not really. I do love some Rihanna to get me hyped up.
And you're not alone with the country, because in this whole year that I've been doing the show since we started in August, I think 90s country has been either one or two. And that was big for football. They're like 90s country. I'm like, okay, so you guys get sad and depressed and then go hit each other.
Yes.
And you take your anger out on yeah.
It
so
makes you feel a little nostalgic. And
okay. Interesting. All right. Claire, what do you listen to on game day?
I really love 90s or early 2000s R&B, like Destiny's Child.
Okay.
And like late 90s, early 2000s, like club music, basically.
Okay. Smoothies and club music. Okay. That's a combo, kid. That's a combo.
Make sure to get smoothies for MHC and pump up 90s.
So do you, since you guys are very specific about your genres, do you pick the music for your routines then? Or
no.
That's all Coach Moore?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Annie's doing.
Okay. All right, switching over here to North Decatur, we'll start with Callie Alexander. What's your pregame meal?
I also don't really like to eat meals before the game, but usually I'll either grab a drink from like Starbucks, or I'll go to the gas station and get an Alani to give me some energy before the game.
Me too.
But after the game, I'll go to McDonald's or sometimes Taco Bell. And
Okay.
grab that.
All right. Ava Lecker, you got a pregame meal that you have to eat every time, or just is it the Subway, or is it?
Well, it kind of depends. Like, if I eat before the game, it depends on if I like know I'm going out to eat with friends after it or not. But if I am eating before the game, I like to go to Subway.
What's your order?
I get turkey and provolone.
Okay. Marley Foster.
Well, you'll find me at Taco Bell before every game. I get the number 7.
So you're the one that keeps holding up the line.
Yep, that's me. I get the number 7 with the soft taco, not a hard taco, and the Baja Blast, and I get that like every day probably.
Okay. Layla Harrison, what's your pregame meal ritual?
So I'll eat before and after, to be honest, but I just love food in general. But I would have to say my go-to, I do not play about my McDonald's. So I would definitely have to say, like Callie said, the chicken nugget meal, but it has to be with ranch. I want any other sauce from McDonald's but ranch. And then anything other than that, like if I'm feeling frisky, I'll probably go for a Chili's, like, it's like that meal deal thing.
Triple
Again,
dipper?
no, I would. Yeah, it's the 3 for me. Okay, this is also not an endorsement, but I will say the 3 for me is definitely a steal because.
Although Overtime would love a Chili's endorsement.
Guys, I would love a Chili's endorsement. But I will say I do not play about that 3 for me, the chicken sandwich or the sirloin, because one, I'm like a broke high school student, so I can't really be affording much. But I would have to say those are my go-to
Which
because
all the
they're
more
just so
reason
good.
Chili's should jump on board and be one of mine.
Oh yeah, and their chips and salsa are probably like some of the best that I've ever had. So.
You lost me there.
Well, we are all entitled to our own opinion.
That's funny. Yeah, it's just it's kind of cool to see, just to hear the differences. You know what I mean, like the personality differences. But at the same time, no matter what athletes I have on here, it's like it's almost the same favorites, and it's fun to see that. So we'll go back around here. We'll go with Callie. We'll back to you. What's your go-to game day music?
Well, it kind of depends on the day, what I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll listen to country music, or sometimes I'll listen to more like pump-up songs. I like Taylor Swift a lot, so I'll listen to Taylor Swift, or like Sabrina Carpenter. I'll listen to her.
Okay. Ava?
I'm kind of like Callie. I don't have like a specific genre that I listen to all the time. It kind of just depends. But if I'm listening to country, I like Morgan Wallen a lot. But then sometimes I'll listen to like early 2000s like hype music too.
Okay. Marley?
Well, I'm the complete opposite of everybody else so far. I listen to Drake like every day, and probably Kanye too, but yeah, it doesn't really change from there. Just them two, to be honest.
Well, that's it. All right. Layla, what are you listening to?
So I would definitely have to say Drake as well. That's another memory that I love is just the way back from the games. Me and Marley will take her giant speaker. This was like the 2 games ago, and we took her giant speaker and we started blasting Drake on the bus. And Miss Morris was not there, which is why we definitely busted that music out. But I would have to say Drake is my mainly my whole playlist. But other than that, I really like R&B or rap or like Claire said, the 2000s club music. I can definitely get hyped to that. So or just any like songs they play like during basketball, like not the timeouts or anything, just like the pump up music, I would say.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's cool. It's always fun for listeners to get to know athletes through their just the quirky questions. So, you know, the personality questions and get to know everybody. So what we're going to do here is we are going to pause real quick for another I'd say commercial break, and hopefully Chili's is listening. But we'll pause for another commercial break here, and then we'll come back with our final takes from the girls and Coach Morris. This is Overtime. Welcome back to Overheim. I'm your host, Nick Messer, still in studio here for a couple more minutes, and then we'll have Beyond the Game starting about 9 o'clock. But right now in studio, we have the South Decatur, 2 of the 3 senior cheerleaders, and we have the North Decatur senior cheerleaders in studio this morning, so with Coach Bree Morris. So we'll start real quick with the South Decatur cheerleaders, and I'll give you girls your final take so that you can talk to your fans.
I want to give a special thanks to all of our fans that come out every single game and help support us. We truly do depend on you guys to feed off your energy, and I know our sports teams appreciate it as well when you pack the stands. And I also want to thank our coach, Annie. She's not here today, but we love her, and she helps keep us on the right track. And I also want to thank Maddie. She's our other senior that's not here today. She tried out cheer for the first time this year, and I'm definitely proud of her and all the growth she's made in her cheer journey.
I would also love to thank our fans and Annie. I really hope everybody shows up for MHC and cheers us on, and also for Maddie as well.
I want to thank the North Decatur fans that come out to the games and support the teams and support us. And also, I want to shout out my sister Haley, who comes to almost every game, and my dad.
I also want to thank the North Decatur fans and just all my family that comes to the games and supports me.
I want to thank my family and shout out to Miss Schaefer because she's always there, and then the North Decatur fans.
I would also love to shout out Miss Schaefer because she is one of our biggest supporters at North Decatur. I would also like to thank my family and the rest of our team who is not here. We also appreciate you guys, and we love being part of your team as seniors. And, of course, our coach. We really appreciate her and all that she sacrifices for our team.
All right, we're going to have Coach Bree Morris step in here, squeeze in here. Yep. All right, Coach, we'll give you your final take. And, you know, one thing I do want to point out that I did mention throughout the show is the cost of cheer.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think, you know, basketball, there's not a whole lot of cost to play at school level. AAU, there's tons of cost. But, you know, you guys, it's like the program. I mean, it's tons and tons of money. So, you know, they have fundraisers all the time, and I urge you guys to go help support that because cheer is very expensive. To give these girls the experiences they need is very expensive. And so next time they have a fundraiser, please be sure to help donate. But, all right, back to you, Coach Morris. Floor is yours for your final take.
All right, I want to thank all of our admin because they're very supportive with all of my crazy and insane ideas. I very rarely get told no. Also, like my girls this year, I've been very fortunate with my team this year. They have been amazing. And lastly, I should probably thank my husband because he puts up with a lot. These girls are basically like his additional 16 daughters.
We love Scott.
Yes, he takes us to all of our games, all of our competitions, and puts up with all of our nonsense. And he's also one, he very rarely tells us no as well. So probably should thank him. Thank my incredible parents too. I've been very fortunate this year because not only have my girls been awesome, but my parents have been just as great.
And we'll definitely work getting you back on. I know you guys have your MHC competition February 28th, so we will definitely have you back on overtime, either before or after or both, but we'll get you back in here. Maybe get a cheer routine. We have a cameraman. We do a joint cheer routine with North and South.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
just
that'd
on
be
the fly.
awesome.
We'll just go do it. Yeah. So again, in studio here with me today. Well, let's run through some things. I got a few minutes here. The MHC competition, February 28th, and that is all 7 schools, and that's going to be right here in the county at North Decatur High School. So North and South competing again at February 28th. Not sure on the times. Stay tuned to social media for that. This Sunday we have North Decatur Cheer at New Washington. That's tomorrow. And the Sunday after that they're at Charleston. Times to be determined, and that's a Sunday as well. South Decatur's Cheer Clinic and Coaches vs. Cancer is January 31st, so show up and donate for that great cause. So in studio with me today, we've had South Decatur cheerleaders, 2 of the 3 seniors. We have Claire Organist and Sophie Wickhemper. Thank you for joining me. North Decatur in studio, we've had Coach Bree Morris, Senior Layla Harrison, Senior Marley Foster, Senior Ava Lecker, Senior Callie Alexander. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. We'll have you back in overtime. I wish you success in the rest of the seasons. All right, that's wrapping it up. I will be back next Saturday, 8 a.m., same time, same place. I'm Nick Messer, and this has been
Overtime!